Let's go ahead and get started, everyone. Happy and blessed Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us for this evening. And if you're hearing my voice, then just understand that tonight is an opportunity for you to continue to learn with what we get to do in this mission. Definitely be prepared to take some notes. Class will be in session for tonight. And again, if you're hearing my voice and we have not previously met, my name is Myra Ferreira. I am based in Tampa, Florida. I'm one of the executives with this company, and it's been an opportunity that has changed my life. So what I get to do is just to help serve a little and support everyone's mission and everyone's journey along our growth. And I want to go ahead and start off in the spirit of celebration. We always love to be able to do these calls and definitely give a huge welcome to anyone that may be brand new and a congratulations on taking that initial decision and taking that step forward to getting started and pursuing your goals on another level. And I will tell you that there's so many success stories around that you'll hear constantly from a lot of people who as well made the same decision that you did. But we are here to do this together. And as they say, team definitely stands for us being able to unite and making sure that we can grow on this journey. So we start off as well recognizing the top enrollers, those agents within our company, within our team, within our organization. And it may be names that you already know, but these individuals are leading the way as far as the highest number of client enrollments. So they've been able to help people solve their problem, getting started on that journey to fixing their finances, and perhaps securing that approval for home ownership or that approval for a new vehicle, or just saving themselves a ton of money with reducing interest rates. So again, our top enrollers so far this volume month for highest number of client enrollments starts off with one of our ambassadors, Dr. Arnold Bogarty, Portia Burnett, Carrie-Ann Henderson, Sandra Brooks, Dominique Brown, Mr. David Marquez, Victoria Peña, and Tisha Rowland. So let's celebrate them in the chat. Make sure you drop in some emojis congratulating them, because the same way you celebrate the success in others is the way it'll in turn be celebrated when it's on you. Moving on to our second list, we want to highlight those agents who have been recognized as the top recruiters within our organization. So perhaps the name you hear now will actually be someone that introduced you to this opportunity, but you want to understand they're not only growing our family, they're creating an impact that can actually transform families on a generationally. So it's not just about the here and the now. It's having the vision of knowing you can truly transform people's lives. So our top recruiters with the highest number of agent enrollments this month so far, shout out to Tisha Rowland, topping the charts consistently for the last several weeks, and Paola Tenorio. So congratulations, boss ladies. We want to celebrate you and understand that we were all invited to this at one point or another, but you continue to extend that reach out, and we will definitely hear about the success stories that happen thanks to your invitation and thanks to the way that you've decided to build your business. So we will have announcements at the end as well. We want to keep everyone up to date with what's happening and what's new. But for tonight's training session, I will tell you that anytime I ever listen to this boss lady speak, I know that I'm always learning something. She just has not only an amazing way to express herself, a very well-spoken professional, and she's come with a great deal of experiences. But I know that we started off at a point where we were even sharing hotel rooms just to get to the company events and to just get to witness her growth and see how much of an impact she's made and the transformation for herself and her family that this business has allowed her to create is definitely powerful. It's something that it warms my heart and is definitely someone that I continue to learn from day in and day out. So as I mentioned, I'm an executive with this company, but guess what? She's been able to do that as well. She's been greatly successful building a business nationwide and also being able to retire her mom. So I'm not going to take away from any of her shine with sharing her story, but I will tell you that this is someone you want to listen to. She's going to give us some insight. And I got the sneak peek on what the topic is on, but again, I'm not going to take that away from her. But I did hear that she is plugged in. And to her, honestly, I refer to her like a sister. So please give all of your undivided attention to none other than executive Chris Bariner. Sis, can you hear me? Let's see. I know you are connected, or I saw you. Let's see if I can go ahead and ask you to unmute. Chris, can you hear me? Let's just give her a moment, team, because I know she greeted us while she joined and she first logged in. So I'm going to try to go ahead and ask her to unmute her line. Or if our host, Arnold, if you're able to go ahead and put her as co-host, that may be able to give her that ability to do so. Awesome. Thank you. Chris, can you hear me? Okay, she's getting on with another device, ladies and gentlemen. Just sit tight for his technical difficulties. This does happen live, but it is real life. So let's just give her a moment or two. She's going to go ahead and connect with another device so she can go ahead and bring on tonight's training. All right, welcome to anyone else that has joined us as well. Let's give our trainer just a few more moments. I know that she's been able to always bring that heat when she's training our team, but technical difficulties were trying to interfere with that. But I'm pretty sure she's gone ahead and gotten connected. Welcome everyone again. Chris, are you able to hear me? All right. In the meantime, I did see she's probably switching out devices now, folks. But in the meantime, I'm wondering if potentially, I know I had a chance to speak with David a little bit earlier, while Chris is going ahead and situating her device, getting proper connection so she can unmute and train. Welcome, David Marquez. Congratulations as well for making it onto our top list as well for client enrollments. You definitely paved the way and set the tone in so many levels. But I'm not sure if you wanted to take this opportunity to perhaps get started with any of the info you want to share with the team while Chris is just situating her device and getting that proper connection. She had to leave the meeting and she'll be hopping back on, I'm sure, but she was not able to unmute her line just a moment ago.
Absolutely. What's going on, Team Relentless? Look, I want to see if anybody can do a quick favor while we're waiting for her to get on. If you guys can go ahead, screenshot this, right? And put this in your chat. Send this to your agents. Send this to any new agents, old agents. I guarantee you guys are going to get value from this training tonight. And also, I want to give you guys updates. You know, we were part of a leadership call today with Chris, the entire, you know, basically all the top leaders that are currently with UWE, as we did get a lot new ones back that had left prior. But I'm going to give these updates. So if you guys can do that before I begin, I only want to repeat it once. So I think it's going to be very helpful for you guys. So again, screenshot this and get your teams on, right? Because it's going to be a great training. But I'm going to go ahead and start. We actually, they're going to announce something big. You guys are going to hear about it soon. And it is going to be a big event in New York coming in, probably mid-November. So you guys are going to see that. It's going to be a huge event. So if you got anybody in New York, surrounding areas, you want to make sure you let them know. Just before Thanksgiving, UWE is going to do a big event out there. And we're going to have all the details for you guys. Also, there's going to be a round of demotions, right? Yes, I see you, Sharon. Yes, New York's going to be lit during Thanksgiving. So before I go in, let me see, we got a couple people on. Good. So they're just waiting, finalizing the contracts. That's why I haven't said anything yet, but you guys will hear it in, the next couple of days or within a week or so. Tickets will be going on sale too once that goes on. And then also, there is going to be a round of demotions coming soon, right? We got promotions, then we got demotions. So this is going to be for the field. And the good news is it's not going to start right away, right? they're going to start, they're actually going to allow the rest of the year to continue, but starting January, yeah, they're going to kind of be looking at those that are really working the business and those that kind of just been getting paid as what they've been getting paid without doing anything, right? So it's going to start off with field trainers and then sales directors. So it's going to go from field trainer to sales directors. First, they're going to look at, then it's going to go up to regional sales directors to vice presidents. And then it's going to go from RVP up to Pinnacle, right? So they're going to be doing it manually. Rohill, they're going to be looking at the organization, looking at everything. So my best advice to you guys is get to work. You know, this is the perfect time to start. And we're going to train you guys tonight on how to give you the tools to equip you for that. But also in January, we're going to have a huge, you know, the company's having their convention as we always have it. And this is a phenomenal time because this is like jump starting the year before income tax season. And so this one's going to be a lot of fun. But you guys know, if you guys ever been to convention, it is our company convention. And that one's going to be in Orlando, Florida, right? So that's going to be huge. We used to do it in Vegas. It's going to literally be an hour, hour and a half away from a lot of you. So should be no reason why you guys aren't attending that. Shouldn't be no reason why you shouldn't have a lot of agents coming with you for that. So putting the bug in your ear. Also, I want to take this time away from me to give it to my better half and let her go over this. But you guys heard about the hardship, right? They're going to have a hardship flyer coming out within a week if it's not already made. But I do know that they're going to give training next week on Thursday on how to train to push these hardship protection plans, right? For those that don't know how it works, these are people that suffer hardship and can't get started for the 290. There's actually an option for them, and they can actually go into their back office right now. So I think we have her on. I want to bring her in so she can kind of show you how that works. So let me see here. Joeric, are you on? Yes.
I am here. I'm actually working on a project right now that I can give everybody a glimpse of. But yeah, go ahead. Am I co-host? I can share screen.
Yeah, let me go ahead and put you on right now so you can be, let's see. I think Arnold, if you're able to make
I got it.
You got it?
I got it. Perfect. All right, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? I'll be real brief about this because you can find everything in your back office, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So you're going to log into your UWE background or back office like you typically do. You're going to go into enrollments, and this is how you're going to be able to find the application to enroll somebody in the program, right? So you'll see it right here. Let me move this over. You'll see it right here. You'll click open and go ahead, either fill it out with them or have them fill it out just like a regular application, right? Now, there is some key points that you guys have to remember. The flyer, you guys can take a screenshot of it, just don't post it anywhere because it hasn't been approved just yet. So give me a second here. Make sure I open the right one. Okay, perfect. So look at the bottom of the flyer. So you got to make note that the payouts are not made. Like if these individuals apply to the program, and please, if you guys take pictures of this, do not post it on social media just yet until it comes out. But look at the asterisk in the bottom. It says the payouts are not made on these individuals until the third customer is acquired. So they don't get payments until that third customer is acquired. And it must be done within 70 days. If they don't acquire it, the application, they can't reapply for the next, let's see here. They won't be allowed in the program back for 90 days and they'll have to pay the $49 again to be able to start up, okay? Now, they will have to attend certain trainings and certain PBRs, so it does come with some stipulations. And next week or so, they'll go ahead and talk about that kind of stuff. but that's pretty much it on that. Now, if you guys can see my screen, I am working on something new that the leaders have been trying out. It's the UWA accountability checklist. This is going to be great for the team. It's been working very, very well with everybody. And a sneak peek of what it's probably going to look like. We're making it more branded to UWE. So I'm super excited for this. This is going to help everybody, keep everybody on track. And then of course, it'll be tweaked and changed as we use it more throughout the field. And that was kind of my time. Did anybody have any questions? David, did I answer everything that I needed to answer?
Yeah, so you're saying the hardship is already live in the back office. People
It
can start
is.
utilizing it. Awesome. So there you go, guys. Before we used to have to do it where it was what? You know, if somebody didn't have the money, we'd be like, look, we're still going to treat you like an agent, just without a back office, right? And what would we have them do? The trial run, where they would then do a post for us on their feed, friends, you know, Facebook or whatever. And then the first 3 that they got, we would use that to get them started. Well, now the company's eliminated that, made it more compliant, where they pay 49 bucks, they have a back office, they get started with everything, and boom, the first 3 will go to the company. We still get compensated. No one loses. It's actually an easier way for people that said that they didn't have the money to get started and become an agent on your team today. So if you guys thought that's fire, put some fire flames in the chat. And then we're going to see if did we get a chance to get Chris back on?
So I did reach out to her. I know she said she
Okay.
is trying to log in back in right now as we speak. I don't yet see her as on the list,
Well,
but she is.
no worries there, man. I just wanted to kind of elaborate again what the updates were for those people that joined us right now. Let you guys know it's crucial, right? We got this hardship. Flyer will be out Thursday. They're going to be doing the training. I don't think this Thursday, next Thursday will be the training, if I'm not mistaken, but it might be this Thursday. You know, you guys get the messages. It'll be training from Chris. And speaking of Chris, obviously you guys know Chris, phenomenal trainer. He was able to bring his company and his organization when he came over, and that's kind of what he's doing here. He's actually going to be doing an updated pre-recording, right? So for those that don't know Chris Holder, they're going to be doing a pre-recording of the presentation where he's going to do it real quick, and it's going to be up for the field for us to be able to use, and that'll be live next week. So I like the idea because, you know, instead of using using somebody like myself or Alfred, or, you know, even though we're great presenters, it's a non-biased thing, right? You send it to somebody that you don't know, well, they can obviously research David Marquez, you know, Arnold Bogarty, Alfred Nixon, and why wouldn't they sign up with them, right? But if they get a video presentation from Chris Holder, now they can't sign up under Chris. Why? Because he's the VP of sales. So it's, to me, is way more beneficial using that. And that's kind of what I'm going to plan on using anyways, to show people that duplication where you don't have to be Mr. Presentation Man. You don't have to be a Dr. Arnold Bogarty to go and share the information with somebody to get them to sign up. So I'm super excited about that. Again, that's going to be next week. And then we're also going to have, like my wife was saying, when it comes to those, you know, when it comes to people not being able, you know, with the hardship, it's also going to, that accountability sheet she showed you guys, to me, that's going to be fire. Because why? It's going to let me know who are the agents I need to focus on and work with, right? It's like giving an assignment to somebody. If I give you this assignment here and you can't complete this in a week, then guess what that tells me? You're not my next leader, right? Now, if I do give it to you and I hold you accountable, and now you're putting your name out there and you're doing the steps, guess what? I'm going to work with you harder. So I love this approach. I love the accountability. It also makes you step up. And then one more thing it's going to do, it's also going to make us be, you know, what we practice, what we preach. I know Chris was talking about incorporating and Chris Holder was talking about incorporating credit scores. You know, nobody here that's a leader should be sitting here on, you know, under a 720 credit score. You know, Chris's main goal was to have everyone on the leadership team not only have a 720 credit score, have their mortgage paid off, have at least 50 to 100 grand sitting in their bank account. We should have no debt. We should have no student loans. We should not have any, you know, car note. And we should literally practice what we preach, right? Being debt free and having a great credit score. So if you believe in that, go ahead and type in the chat debt free if you want to be part of that and if you plan to hold yourself accountable. So I see we got a couple more people on. What's up, Lewis? I see you on. So look, again, they're gonna have a pre-recording that's gonna come out. All of the new stuff you guys will hear it on the recording of this. But you know, for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in unless we didn't have Chris. Now I'll go ahead.
We do have. Yeah, I'm sorry, David. We do have Chris. I'm not sure if you wanted her to go ahead and speak on the topic first.
Guys, our Tuesday night trainings are important, obviously, because they're great for us. We're always learning skills and all that. But I kind of wanted to bring Chris on to share her testimony because not only, you know, is our Sunday Millionaire Mindset VP University trainings on Sundays, you know, for the new agents, but Chris, as a seasoned vet coming in here, crushing it. Even now, she's found a lot of value, and I just wanted her to share her testimony jumping on this past Sunday on the VP University. Chris, you there?
Yes, I am here, guys. So sorry about the technical difficulties. Definitely got to throw it back to my beautiful sis, Myra, always holding it down, and our leader, our fearless leader, right? Mr. Executive Ambassador David Marquez. Man, thanks so much for stepping up and trying to fill those shoes for me real quick as we got these technical difficulties worked out. But yeah, guys, really quick, just want to tell you, if you don't know who I am, I'm Chris Barron, Executive Elite, with this amazing platform representing Team Relentless, very strong, right? I was able to get on Sunday. Now, typically, Sundays are for the new agent. And I feel like this was very, very important to discuss because we got people like Diamond, people like Tisha, right? Killing the game, bringing in so many new family members. So it's very important that we get them on these trainings because we all know a well-trained team is a well-paid team, right? And guys, again, I've been with this platform now 4 years, and I hopped on Sunday and I honestly was blown away. I feel like this is something we all, no matter what your tenure is, we all need to jump back on because we can agree. We're all getting back into that stage, getting back, you know, rebuilding, right? So technically, in a sense, we're kind of all brand new agents, right? So I feel like we all should be partaking in this. But I want to share with you guys some things that I learned really quick from Michelle Miller. A lot of you may not know her, but she is phenomenal. She came into our platform killing the game. We call her Miss TikTok now, right? And her training was talking about branding. Now, a lot of you new agents, I know you're trying to wonder where are you going to get your pipeline, how are you going to build a book of business, how do you get out and brand yourself, right? So really quick, and again, this is something that we'll probably schedule a little later to go a little bit more in detail with, but some things I want you guys to jot down. Jot down the word EPIC, E-P-I-C, right? So this is to help you with content, knowing exactly what to share on your social media in order to generate those leads, right? So the word EPIC, the E stands for entertainment and educate. So you can do this whenever you want to. So let's say you start on Monday, right? So we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, EPIC, right? Friday, we'll do some fun. But for those first 4 days, you want to day one on Monday, post something that's entertaining to get engagement to your posts. Get engagement to your social media. It doesn't matter which platform you use, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is you guys feel comfortable marketing on. I tell you to market on all of them, right? So Monday, we want to use E, entertain or educate. Drop a credit tip. Drop how to pay off credit debt sooner. Whatever credit tips you can find. And guys, you could Google these, you can go on YouTube, just find some valuable information that can really transform or help someone, right? And the reason why we do this is because you want to give free information because now you seem very, very knowledgeable. People are going to start inboxing you, asking you for more and more help, right? Then the P, it stands for personal. So this is Tuesday. Guys, I think we have the guru of personal and David Marquez, right? He has a system that he uses. I quit my job on a Tuesday, right? So with that on Tuesday, we want to get personal. Show your personal lifestyle. Show you, sitting at the beach on a Tuesday. Everybody that's watching your page, I'm like, well, dang, I'm either at home working from home, or I'm in this office, tied to a desk. Why is it that she or he can be on the beach? Why is it that David is out, planning whatever he wants to do, right? He's out with his kids. Arnold is out with his kids. We all are showing lifestyle, personality, personal. Because guys, one thing about us is people buy from who they know, like, and trust. And granted, these guys don't know us, but they actually feel like they know us because we share our personal lives with them. I can count night in and night out. As you guys know, I like to hang out, right? A lot of my marketing comes from just simply hanging out. But when I do that, people walk up to me and they talk to me as if they know me. I've never seen these people in my life. So now, because of this platform and because of following this epic rule, I got a lot of Facebook cousins and sisters, right? So that's exactly what you want to do. Then Wednesday, the I is for inspirational. Post something motivational, something inspirational, something to give people hope, right? To have them believing in you. And not only believing in you, but ultimately, because they got belief in you, they now start to believe in themselves. They now start to see the value of changing their lives. Now it's understanding why it's important that they want to be the best version of themselves, right? And then last but not least, C is for conversational, right? So make a post out there to get engagement, ask questions. So I know one that I used when I first got into the business. I asked, where's everybody at? Who likes iPhone versus Android? That's simple. It has nothing to do with credit, has nothing to do with business. It's just simply to get engagement. Trust me, people are gonna comment all, the iPhone lovers, the Android lovers, or another one that I did is the Big Mac over the Whopper. Just comparing stuff, right? You get a lot of engagement that way. Believe it or not, getting that engagement boosts the algorithms on your page. So now when you start to post those inspirational post, that personal lifestyle, post those credit tips, more people are attracted to your page because you boost up your algorithms with getting so much engagement, right? So that's epic. That's how we're going to get people to come to your page, look at your page. Now, another thing that we want to touch on with looking at your pages is, guys, before we, put epic into work, we got to fix our social medias. Guys, nobody's going to buy your dream looking like a nightmare, right? We got to fix those profile pics. We don't want to see you, kissing the hubby, girlfriend, boyfriend, or have shirts. Like, you got to look professional, right? So definitely want to clean up your Facebook. And then after you clean it up and get some professional pictures up there, then we're going to go into epic. Now, the next thing that I wanted to go into is understanding your brand. A lot of people, especially new people coming into the business, they're like, I know I have to brand myself, but I don't even quite understand what that is or how do I do it, right? So first things first, your brand is being created with or without you. We make our brand by mistake. We don't even notice that we're doing it. And our brand simply comes from how we carry ourselves, how we portray ourselves, which is why I said before we put epic in the work, we definitely want to clear up our social medias, making us look professional. And then that automatically starts building your brand. Guys, people don't even know my name. They see me out in the community. They say, hey, aren't you the Island Kid? That's because I made me a brand. Think about it. No matter where you are in the world, when you see the Golden Arches, what do we think of? McDonald's. When we see that swoosh, like on David's shirt, we know that is what? Nike. You got to make yourself that same brand, right? But these are all tips that I learned and, got reacquainted with because I attended that Sunday Millionaire Mindset training. Guys, trainings are very, very important. I hear it day in and day out. People always say, well, I don't want to get on. They talk about the same thing every time. Guess what? It's just like church. When you go to church, you're reading from the same Bible. You're talking about your same higher power, right? But every time you leave, you get that one nugget that you never heard before, right? It always happens. It's inevitable. Perfect example. Again, guys, I've been on this platform 4 years. I was just on the overview with Mike Burgos and Alfred Nixon. And every time I listen to the presentation, guys, you all know, I do the presentation with my eyes closed, right? I don't need to even see the slides, but I hear different people do it and it helps me fine tune my flow. right? So stop with the mentality that, oh, it's the same information. I don't want to get on. It's going to be, you're always going to learn. The person that's most successful in this business is the person that is going to always be and forever will be the student. All right, guys, that's my time. I'll see you guys this Sunday. Make sure you're on. I'll be on, and let's get it, man. Back to you, Myra.
Awesome advice. That was really a great recap, and definitely some core reminders. Like, those are things that take us back to the basics. And it is true. I think a lot of us, I know myself included, feel like we're just getting the hang of it all over again, but this is definitely a phenomenal time to do so. Thanks for translating it that way. You are definitely the island kid, killing it with your marketing. And I love to see what you've been able to do with your social media platforms. It's translated into the success you've created in your business and how you've inspired the entire team. So much love to you, sis. Continued winnings and blessings. So I would say tonight, we're going to move into the training segment for this evening. I know that David had just touched on a few insider tips and giving us, a little bit of again, insight on what he had already heard about, and those updates. I think they're phenomenal. But now he actually gets to go ahead and train us for this evening. So I'm always excited to learn about what he can bring to the table. I've seen and witnessed this man not only grow so much, but also take the time, energy, effort, and financial investments to become the professional that he has become in this industry. So if there's someone that you can definitely learn from, I would hands down, without a doubt, definitely point your direction and all of your attention to our executive ambassador, Mr. David Marquez. Are you ready to give us our training session tonight?
Yes, I am, Myra. I'm going to go ahead and I guess we probably got like 25 minutes left. What I'm going to do is train quickly. And this is going to be an interactive training, right? This is going to be a training for those, like Chris said, it's always best to go back to the basics, right? Go back to the fundamentals. And it's true. Sometimes we get in a slump, and this is why the Super Bowl trophy, right, is in the shape of a football, because when we look at it, you have the coach, and it was the Vince Lombardi had came out with the Lombardi trophy, but it wasn't the reason why it came out with it. It was the fact that Vince Lombardi was always, every new season, will be in the locker room and tell, gentlemen, this is a football. They knew it was a football, but he was trying to express the importance of getting down to the basics. So tonight, I'm going to get down to the basics for not just the new people, but the people on here that weren't doing it right. And not only wasn't doing it right, but this is a chance now to rewrite your story. A lot has happened, right? Type a 1 in the chat if you agree that your story's kind of changed since then to now. If you felt your story has changed from then to now, type a 1 in the chat. Perfect. So let me tell you guys, my story has changed from then and now. You see, you guys knew my story. David Marquez, DJ, 13 years, loved the party life, but, I didn't have time freedom. And what sucked is I didn't get to spend time with my kids. And what sucked even more was that when they got injured and hurt, I couldn't be there for them. And I was just looking for a way, and I finally found it through the network marketing, through this platform. And so now I not only have that time freedom to do that, pick them up, drop them off. My daughter starts next year in high school right here, and to this day, never rode the school bus because I've always been able to take her. Tori acts just like me. That's my little mini me, because why? She's always with me in the beginning, in the mornings, and when we pick her up. And so that is a blessing now that we're able to do that. But that was my old story. You guys knew that. But see, now you guys don't know, right? That I was at a point where I literally had no income coming in, dealing with stress. And now, I mean, even dealing with health issues, I have double vision. I've had that for 3 weeks now, right? And so I couldn't go to work. Could you imagine if I did labor jobs, like having to do that? Or if I worked, God forbid, on the roof, do you think I wouldn't be able to work? And they wouldn't be giving me any money because I wouldn't even been able to get approved for Social Security. But guess what? Because of what I do, I'm able to sit in my bed or sit on my phone and work this business, right? And so my goal and my future is to help other families and other people that may have not just double vision. Maybe you can't work because your back hurts. Maybe you can't get out of bed. Maybe you're a single mother with 2 children and cannot get the time to go off of work and be able to pick them up, because you would get fired if you had to do that. Pick them up, drop them off, pick them up, and so the problem is, our stories change. And I just showed you my old story to my new story. So today I'm going to talk about just that, and then we're going to have a little crowd participation, because nothing is more better than you practicing it. And then I'm going to give you guys an assignment. We are actually going to enter, before the 5-week calendar month starts, we are going to do the 5 presentations every entrepreneur and network marketer should know. Guys, this right here, you can use this for any business, right? And a lot of you guys know this. So if you guys know the presentations that we're talking about, drop some flames in the chat, because we can always learn and polish up on them, right? So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and show you exactly what I'm talking about. For you new agents, this is all brand new. Take screenshots and notes. All right. So me and Dr. Arnold Bogarty did it. We spent 10 grand on Eric Worre's training, right, after GoPro, to learn this information. And then he told us to share it with our organizations, with our network, which was awesome, because he could have said no, and we were able, I put together these slides and we were able to teach it. And it created so much duplication within our organization. We started popping leaders left and right. And that's what my goal, that's what my real, objective here is to create more presenters and more leaders. But you got to admit, out of all presentations, even presenting the presentation, the first presentation you got to master is what? Your story. So look at it. You're able to see my screen, right, Myra?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You might want to expand it though. It's on like.
Oh yeah, I got it. Let me see here. All right. And boom, there you go. So got the subtitles on. Just in case you didn't know, on PowerPoint, you can go ahead and put that feature on. So if you have anybody that's hearing impaired, they can actually hear you or see you and see what you're saying. So these are the 5 presentations right here. Your story, right? The perfect opportunity presentation, which we're going to show you how you can draft anything, whether it's solar, whether you got a new drink, vitamin water, or credit business that you want to draft into the perfect opportunity, which we already provide that for you. So we're gonna show you how all the parts are in our current presentation. But that's week 2, right? Then we're going to get into getting started, which is a presentation in itself. And then skills training is which Chris just did for you. Now, Chris went over Epic, right? What Michelle Miller went over. I thought that was fire. I never even looked at it that way, but it makes sense, right? And then last but not least, my favorite, the signature talk. Why? Because this is where you're not selling, you're providing valuable information, and you're going to naturally get people to come to you and ask for you and your product, right? This is where you build value. So for week 1, we're going to talk about telling your story, right? Your story is the most powerful tool that you can have, right? Why is this so important? Because everyone has a story, and your story will allow you to connect with more prospects, especially if it's relatable, right? It allows you to build rapport with them. It's more effective than any other tool. And you don't even have to have much skill to be able to tell your story. You see, my story was simple, and I'm going to give you the basis of it. It's very simple. If you look at it, no matter what your background is, you can draft this 4-part formula to make a compelling story, right? So when you do it, right, when you start telling your story, somebody can, when we do this, you're going to learn other people's stories, right? Let's say I'm talking to somebody who's a single mother of 3 kids, and she works on cars and she's worked in the insurance field and she's doing all this crazy stuff. She's like, I don't got time for that. But hearing other people's stories, especially, you know, in our organization, our team, after hearing that about the person, you know, then I learned the easiest way is to talk in third party, get yourself out the way. And so I could use Jackie. I could say, well, look, I don't know about all that. But what I do know is my really good friend, Jackie Garcia, also mother of children, single mom, and she actually works on cars. She does nails and she worked in insurance, and she's on her way building a multiple six-figure income based off of what I'm about to share with you. So you can use that when you talk in stories. You're going to have a third-party story. This is why it's good to talk amongst everyone in here so you can learn their story. And that way you can always get yourself out the way. But then you're going to want to tell your story, right? So stories to develop. You're getting started story, right? You guys know mine. I always say it all the time. You know, that's my network marketing opportunity story. You can also have a rank advance story, right? For the 90 days. It doesn't have to be the first 90 days you started. It can be right now when you get to the 5-week calendar month. And then a product story. You know, shout out to Chad. I know he just got his letters in the mail. And he just got 2 more deletions, right? So shout out to him. He just got a product story that he can put out there. So this is the 4-part formula. Make sure you guys take a screenshot of it, right? Part 1 is your background. What did you do before this, right? Type in the chat what you guys did before this. I want to see. Maybe I can't see. But we got people from all over, customer service jobs, people that did accounting. You know, Dr. Bogarty was in the military. I was a DJ. So many different backgrounds, right? Then you want to talk about what you didn't like about it, right? Because we all have that story where it's, you know, I was a DJ. They're like, man, that was fun. You got to be the life of the party. I was like, yeah. But then there's always something that you didn't like about it, right? And so that's where you want to put that in. Part 3 is the solution that you found, you know, and that one's quick and easy. And then 4 is how you feel about the future, right? So part 1, the purpose of part 1 is to give you, you know, a chance to connect. It gives you common ground and makes you relatable. You know, you can talk about your career, what you're known for. Keeping it simple is the best way to do it. And so I want you right now, if you haven't done this, even if you're in the process of rewriting your story, it's your turn. Write down your current background, what you're doing right now. I know a lot of us changed jobs since then. Now, here's some examples. Your mom now, maybe your dad, right? Maybe, you know, you just got married, right? You just became a grandparent. I want you to put that in there. Also, you know, talk about what you did, you know, what you're currently doing for a living. Now, part 2, you want to be able to connect, right? This is where you want to talk about what you don't like or didn't like about your background. See, for me as a DJ, what I didn't like was that I was always having to do a gig. I missed out on my kids', you know, tournaments because I had to do a gig. I had to miss out on family weddings because I had to DJ a wedding, right? So this is where you want to talk about your pain points, the struggling, right? You know, this is the heartache and challenges of your job or, you know, what you do. And so it also depends on your audience, right? You got to look at the most common based off of your audience. You know, if I'm talking about a product story about not getting my, you know, not getting my house, I'm going to mention, you know, I'm going to speak more on that opposed to my DJing. You see, I'm going to speak more about not getting the house. And so you got to really know your audience. So do your homework and then pick something relatable. So now it's your turn, right? Write down whatever it is that you didn't like or don't like about your background. Okay? And then examples of what you didn't like. It could be your salary, it could be the pay. Look, I remember I worked at UMA, which was a call center, and I hated the fact that I was living paycheck to paycheck, right? I was missing out on events. See, all of these are great examples of what you may not like. I was in a cubicle, right? I had no connection to the outside world. Or you can say something like, I worked at a car sales job, and I hated the fact that I had to work on weekends. So all of these are things. Now, here's a pro tip. When you talk about the things that you don't like, you want to lower your volume, your tone. You want to slow down the pace and lower your tone at the end of the sentence. Why? It's a trick that gets people to listen in, and it's going to be more your pain points, right? You're not going to be happy and up tempo when you're talking about what you didn't like. So that's a pro tip, right? Part 3 is the solution, what you found. Me, this one is simple. I just simply say, look, how I was DJing and I didn't have time for my kids, and if I didn't have a gig, I didn't get paid. That sucked, but I was looking for something and I found it. That's it. You can say, I was looking for a path to home ownership and I found it. I was looking for a way to retire my wife and spend every day with my children, and I found it, right? So you can use any of these to do the found part, right? So write down, you see now your turn, the solution that you found. Now here's some examples. You can say, I found something, I found a way, I found a path to, like I told you, or I saw my friends talking about it, then my chance, I heard about it, and I watched my friend and I seen him become successful, and I thought I could do it too, right? Here's a pro tip. Change your voice when you talk about what you found, right? Pick up the pace and volume and lean in. Remember, before you were kind of lower, you kind of depressed, miserable, but now you found it. So sound like excited, right? People love to be around excitement. That's where you want to pick it up. And then the last part 4, how you feel about the future. Now, this is important because it's not just about you. Yeah, you can talk about, and now I'm going to, get that house, or now I'm going to, but what I like to do is kind of throw it back at, the people that I'm speaking with. If at a first time home buyers seminar, I'm going to say, I got my house, but now the future looks bright because I get to stand in front of people like you and help families get into home ownership. You see, when you talk about that, impacting other people, this is how you want to emphasize. Now, it doesn't have to be about that, but you can make your story, right? You should have the future talk about, reconnecting your pain points to before and after. You see, when I told you I was a DJ and I had no time freedom, that's what sucked for me. That was my pain points. But I found a solution. And I was able to retire my wife. And now, what did I say? I get to pick up the kids. Never rode a school bus. I connected my pain points to show my before and after. So now it's your turn. You write down how you feel about the future. And guys, it doesn't matter if it hasn't happened yet. This is what you want. Speak it. Speak it into existence. And so some examples, I'm excited for the future. Now I can see I'm not there yet, but I am going to be, right? Speak it. And then I'm excited because now I get to whatever. So those are the 4 parts, guys. That's it. Now I want to say for the next 10 minutes, that's all, just 10 minutes. This is where we see a couple of people drop out.
David, hold on for a second.
Go ahead.
Let's all right, just from the outside looking in. You guys need to hear what this sounds like. All right. I know there's people out there, it was broken down into parts, but you really need to know what this sounds like when telling your story. And if you ever heard me present or heard presenters, we always start with our story. And as a matter of fact, it's so funny because most of you aren't here right now, which I know each and every last one of you. A lot of you can repeat my story because I see you doing it while I'm telling my story, trying to make me laugh in front of the crowd, especially Chris. I know Chris is guilty of that and some other people are guilty of that. But, telling your story, you're not going to get it right. The first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. It takes practice. And like David says, sometimes it changes. And so you can hear it. Crystal's laughing too, because she does it too. Like, y'all can repeat my story. Bianca, I know she knows it because I say it all the time. And that's how you start. Why, like David said, you want to connect with the audience. All right, guys. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my story. That way you can see how it transitions. That way you kind of know what David is talking about, especially if you're your first time. And so, as mine is, hey, my name is Dr. Arnold Bogarty. And prior to me becoming a professional in this industry, prior to me becoming a professional network marketer, I spent 16 years in the military, 12 of it in special forces. Now, most of you don't know what special forces is, but basically I got paid to do bad things to bad people. But unfortunately, when you're in that line of work, sometimes bad things happen to you. My last deployment to Afghanistan, I was shot 3 times in the chest. But how many people out here know you can't choose when God sends you your blessing? And God sent me my blessing when I was shot because I met a young lady that completely changed my life. You see, so that's my background. And now I'm about to transition. Okay. Now, from the outside looking in, being part of special ops is great. You're the top 1% of the military. You get to jump out of planes, carry big guns, go cool places. But tell you the truth, guys, I was broken inside. So where I'm at right now, guys, I'm in part 2. I'm in my pain. Now, here's the thing about pain. Sometimes when we go into our pain, we stay there too long. You don't want to stay there too long. Okay. We get trapped in our pain. And sometimes, when we moderate this thing, we see people, they get trapped in their pain. Okay. But so tell you the truth, I was broken inside. My wife and I have been married at the time for 5 years, but I barely saw her, 6 months, not because I didn't love her, not because I wasn't in love with her, because I had to work. All right. I never got to see my boys. And tell you the truth, guys, when you join, the Army, we don't do it to get rich. So a lot of time I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I was looking for something. Now I'm transitioning into the third part. I was looking for something and I found it. You see, another thing that you found has to relate to what you talked about in your story above. And so I found a way to be that present husband. I found a way to be that present father. I found a way not only to give my family what it is that they need, but what it is that they deserve. Okay. So now I found, what it is that I'm using. And then you go into the future. Okay. And so now the future looks bright. All right. Not only am I able to provide my family, but now I look forward to sharing this with you. And so that's the future part. The future doesn't have to be long or some drawn out thing, but now I look forward to doing this in the future. I look forward to paying it forward, something about the future. And so, guys, that's the story in a nutshell. Now, I've said it hundreds and hundreds of times. That's why I can break up my story and do a teaching moment in each part of, my story, guys. But those are the 4 parts of the story. And that's how it goes. And, it's supposed to be under 2 minutes. So you don't want to have a long drawn out story. Okay. Because remember, we're not making this about you. It's just to relate and connect to the audience. But your story is very, very, very important. Okay. And if you notice, any speaker that comes out, they start with a joke, they start with their story, and then they go into their training, because that is how you grab the audience. All right, guys. And so I don't know if David still wants to do breakout rooms. Okay.
Yeah, we can still do it. I want to do it for 10 minutes. I was thinking of breaking it down into 3s. So that way we have 5 or 6 groups, and that way we can moderate it. But look, here's how we're going to do it, guys. It's going to be real brief. And all we're going to do is want to hear your story, want to see if you got it down packed. This is going to be, everyone's going to have to do this at one point or another, whether you're sharing the information or you're speaking in front of people doing a PBR. So you might as well learn and get the constructive criticism now. So we're going to choose a moderator in the room. Basically, what it's going to be is each person has 2 minutes to tell their story. Remember the 4 parts. Then you're going to be able to get 2 minutes of feedback, right? What you did well and what we could work on. And then just look out for these key points. Did the speaker capture your attention? Was their story, did it connect, or did you get lost? Would you join with them? Why not? And how is their pace, volume, and tonality? And did they use simple, ordinary words, right? So we're going to start that. Everyone that chooses to be the moderator, what I would like for you to do is time it with the clock here like this, 2 minutes, and then do 2 minutes of constructive criticism. So with that being said, I think, let me see, are you able, maybe I can break them up into 3s. Yeah, breakout rooms. So we'll do that. And we did it. All right. We'll go back in 10 minutes.
Go ahead and join your rooms, guys.
Oh my God.
No, those are
All right.
always.
So as we have some everybody kind of coming back. This is Myra, everyone, and I just wanted to say, right, the two participants I was able to share my breakout room session with. Thank you, ladies, both for being transparent and just giving it what you had and really being true and genuine about where you come from. I hope the feedback I was able to provide you serves a little in helping to grow that. But no, I was not sure. I would tell you that if someone has been able to be good at something, is because they've repeated it so much that they can do it without even thinking. And I will tell you all as well, I'm definitely looking to recreate the success story and the things that I am now so much more forward to. But that was it, because I felt like we got cut off, and I wanted that feedback too, you know? But
Yeah, we did. I was like, damn, because I was the only one that got to give feedback on, on Marisol, but I know she's got Chris and Jackie can also plug into her. I think it was good because I got to look at every room, and there were certain people that I never really got to hear their story. Till this day, I haven't heard someone on here that I tried to join them into the room, but they didn't want to join. So not throw out any names out there, but he did just get his letters back today. So knowing that,
I've heard the story before.
you did? That's cool.
Yeah,
I just want to hear to see how
Yeah.
people, how we get a chance to learn and how our stories change. And then I find it, we still get to hear those stories again. And then when I hear it again, like with Marisol, she works security and she worked at Macy's. So anytime I got a female that does security, I know to bring her on and she can share her story easily. So I always think these are fun. I always think they're very useful and resourceful. So I was just glad I got to hear it. But Arnold, how about your breakout room?
Yeah, guys. So, when we got in our breakout room, it was more of, you're not going to get great at, it's going to take a while. I'm still, don't want to say I'm great at telling my story. I'm very good at it, but I'm not great at it. It's something that you just have to keep doing. And the way you keep doing it is keep working. You keep working. If you keep doing things the right way, you're going to keep sharing your story, because you're going to have to keep connecting with people. And the best way to do that is sharing your story. And you're right, it does change. I heard Myra say it changes. But no, this was sort of like just a crash course training. All right. When David and I and a couple other people, we did the course with Eric, he took like 2 days to do this. I mean, we got real in-depth how to tell your story with professional pauses and a whole bunch of things, voice changes, just eye contact. It's a whole bunch that goes into something like this. And so, David's always dropping things on me that I don't know that we're doing. So he mentioned that we're probably going to do the 5-week course again before the 5-week. And so you guys will get a real in-depth, all right, how to tell your story with practicing. And I tell you, I was talking to where's she at? With Crystal. Crystal was on the first one that we ever did. And, when I just watched her make her 1.0 video, her 2.0, her 3.0, her 4.0, and, you just get better and better and better and better at doing it. And eventually you don't get caught in, the 2 minutes in your pain, and it's little things that we talked about in our breakout room, guys. But, that was sort of just kind of a crash course on how to tell your story. The main thing is the 4 parts is stay inside the structure. That's it. Even if, you got to practice it when you're talking to someone, you got to have it in front of you, where it reminds you background, pain, solution, future, background, pain, solution, future. And just remember, guys, 3 bullet points in each. I was explaining that, in our group and how it relates back. But like I said, we're all going to go through that, and we're going to teach you more on that. There's some people on here that are really good at it already. But just know that, with practice, doesn't make perfect, but it makes better.
Yes, exactly. And so, we like to end everything with an assignment. So I wanted to let everybody know, let's see how many times you can share your story. The best part about it is that anybody that you invite, right, using any script, when they ask you what it is, you can actually get away from telling them what it is by starting in with your story, like, hey, man, you remember how I DJ'd and owned a cell phone repair shop? I just never, I loved it, but I didn't have time freedom. I was looking for a way out and I found it. So that's why I'm inviting you, right? I'm going to send you this, and guys, it's an easy way to get somebody to take a look at it And another way, you know, for them to see the information, and you kind of shared your story with them. So when they see it, they have that in the back of their mind, and they're going to understand that when it comes time for them to make a decision. Now, the trainings that we have going on with Chris Holder are going to be phenomenal, teaching you. We're also going to show you, again, with these 5 presentations, they are powerful. When I tell you to be a part of them, I decided we should do them because when we go into our 5-week calendar month, imagine how many of you guys are going to be equipped to tell your story, how to form somebody, how to do a presentation. And guys, I'll tell you, these presentations that we got coming out with the business funding, I didn't even tell you the other update. The business credit should be rolling out within less than a month. We're going to have business credit, business funding, personal loans. It's going to be a lot of big, you know, a lot of things that we're going to be able to do. And if you learn how to tell your story and present now, getting all those other parts, those products and everything else that we get along is going to be easier for you to share them with people. And so how are we going to do this? Look, over the next week, over the next 30 days, tell your story 100 times, right? To 30 people, or excuse me, during 30 days. Now, if you do 3 people a day sharing your story in 30 days, that's 100 times. So that's really it. 3 times a day. Practice saying it out loud. Chad, say it to your newborn. It's okay. I know he was with him. He was with her. And it's cool because he was with her right now, still listening, not able to talk, but you can still practice with the family there. Share it. You know, we haven't created anything for this. We're going to do this as training, but I encourage you to share it with your teammates. Share it on the chats. You know, we want to hear from you. And it gives us a chance to learn your story better, your new version, because they do change. And it's also a great way for us to learn your story so we can obviously connect the dots with other people that can relate. So start collecting stories. Let's start developing your other stories, right? You guys have product stories that you can work on, and then, you know, your story on rank advancing. So that's the assignment. And then, of course, we also want to get you guys to invite. Remember, Alfred put together Tuesdays, Thursdays. Let me see the dates. So we have our next webinar going on Thursday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I think.
And Saturday. Yep. He says, so Tuesdays, Thursdays at 8 p.m. and then Saturdays at 2 p.m. So write that on your calendar so you guys know it. And you can easily simply invite people using your story. And just off of that, you can get them to jump on and start getting enrollments, guys. Look, Chris Holder is going to start training after he does the presentation. And he said it, you know, 2008, when nobody wanted to jump online and start talking to people, everybody was like, oh, it's only belly to belly. You know, he started doing it. He took ACN to, you know, top levels, and his team was doing that. So he's applying the same stuff here. And so I'm excited to be working with him, especially with all the stuff that we got coming on. And you guys seeing a lot of the people, leaders coming back now. We got the upper hand. So I encourage everybody to start sharing your story, share it with the chats. And with that being said, man, you guys have a great Tuesday night. God bless. And I'll see you guys. We'll talk soon.
Good night, Relentless.
All right, Myra, back to you.
All right, guys. Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you. Good night.